Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. Originally I wasn't going to upload a video today, but I've lately been working on some changes to some cards in Myo Mashup set 1, and I wanted to go over all of those with you. I've changed 14 cards to be precise, and I'm in my Discord server, and I figured this would be the best way to really show those changes. So starting on, I've got Doc Pock and his minion. Doc Pock's ability has changed to now it says for 1 power. Once per turn, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can put them on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Main reason this changed was because it was a little awkward to use this ability on untap in my testing with it, and I wanted to make sure there was no real changes whether you were playing in paper or untap. I wanted to keep the functionality of the cards the same either way. And he does a similar function. The effect is actually the same as Psychic Pondering, so now you have that stapled onto a 5-cost 5/5 character, which is pretty powerful. I've also changed the Pock minion to, when in testing, I've had a few complaints that just a 1/1 for 1 wasn't quite strong enough in the villain decks, so I changed it to work a little better with Doc Pock, so now, if you control a character with Doc Pock in its name, this character can perform a direct attack. So you'll only be doing 1 damage by default, but it still gives him a little bit more of a utility when you have Doc Pock out later in the game. And then we get to some other cards. So Destiny's also changed. I've had some suggestions to make it cost a little more, but I do kind of like the 7-cost, 7/7, looks at the top 7. Kind of like I like the focus on the number 7, and I think changing the costs would throw it off a little bit. So what I did change was that Destiny cannot chain copies of herself. So if you happen to, so it doesn't allow you to play cards with Destiny in their names. So you'll be able to play any other card with this that costs 7 or less, just not other copies of Destiny. Hopefully that will balance it a little bit more. Apocalypse Now has also changed. I recently ran a poll about whether to make this do a little more, like maybe destroying all cards on the field instead of just characters. Ultimately, I decided to make this, reduce the cost from 7 to 6, maybe make that a little more playable. Maybe make some other things to destroy other types of cards in the game, because this is already destroying the characters as well as things that are attached to them. And I think that's good enough. But I think lowering the cost will help it see just a little more play as a wide character destroying card. Flora Sky has received 1 minor change. She's gone from a 2/4 to a 2/3. Make the defense a little bit lower. Not a huge change, but it's still one worth noting. Gale has changed similarly. His base stats are now a little bit more in line with the other. Look at the top 5 cards, search for a card. You get to reveal a card of its type and put it in your hand. So instead of being a 2/2, it's now a 2/0, which gives it that the stats equal to its cost like the other ones have. Next is Multi-Man, whose cost has increased from 4 to 5. So hopefully, I think it'll still see play as it is, but it'll just make it a little more challenging to get out there. Overdrive Man has also seen a bit of change. He still has the highest power of any 5-drop character, but his attack has been reduced from 15 to 12. Still a pretty aggressive character with a pretty powerful downside, but still a very useful card. Recycle Arm has changed. It still shuffles 3 cards from your discard pile into your deck, but now you also have the option to draw a card afterwards. You may run into some times where you won't want to draw the card, but still, it's a nice little upside that it has. Buddy has also been changed along with Dexter. Buddy is now, the stat buffs on Buddy are a bit higher. Dexter has changed similarly too, but we'll see that in a moment. Chloe's also been changed. The entire Matt, Citrus, and Chloe trio has all been changed. They are all now 3 costs. Chloe specifically has an extra point of defense to go with that increase in costs, but her assist is still the same. It didn't make sense to have two characters with assist. One only gives +1 attack, the other gives +2 attack, both at 2 costs. So I made Chloe cost a little bit more, but I also buffed her defense a little bit to go with it. Blitz has also changed, so now he has 1 less attack, and this kind of curves nicely with the other critical cards that are at common. You've got Blitz, who has 1 attack, Chase, who costs 2 and has 2 attack, 1 defense, and then you have the Pock Ninja, who costs 3 and has 3 attack, 2 defense. So there's a nice little stat climb for there. And the final couple of cards, I've got Lumia, as I've mentioned, who's also been changed a little bit. She still provides the +1 attack with her assist, but she now has 1 less defense, so she's now a 1/2. Dexter is similarly changed. I mentioned this with Buddy, who gives a bit more stat buffs. Dexter's stat buffs haven't changed, but he's now a 3/3. So that will actually make Dexter a 6/6. I might have to change this again. We'll see. I may have that a little bit backwards. Finally, Matt has also changed from a 6/3 with evasive to a 3/0 with evasive and is now costing 3. And the final card I've made was Citrus. Overruns one of the weaker keyword abilities, so I've buffed his defense by 1 just to kind of keep them. So now he has the highest attack and defense of the trio, so that'll be pretty good there. And that about does it for the changes I've made. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you're interested in playtesting this game and leaving some feedback, I'll have a link to my Discord in the description where you can playtest with other people in the server. I'll see you in whatever video I upload next, and take care.